Welcome back to part 2 of my chat with Derv McGowan from Anther Distillery. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, then please go over and click play on that. But if you're eager to get into the conversation, then here it is. That's amazing. So what I'm interested in is you've run into a global pandemic and your response is is this business, what is going to happen? But your response is let's look after the wider industry. Like, how did you get to the perspective of going, I'm not just going to focus on myself, but I'm going to focus on how we can help?
Well, we had 4 people with nothing to do. So we really had to think about, and I had 2 people depending on me for a wage. And that then was our savings. So we were paying people because they needed to eat. And we had savings and they didn't. So
Yeah, wow.
that was really important. And then the broader industry, as far as our own distilling industry went, I was part of the inaugural Spirits Victoria Association committee that started that as well. So I was their first vice president.
Wow.
And that was started for the same reason. And it's partly because we have a beautiful industry. It's just a really considerate industry. And I knew that we had not invested capital in our business yet. We were about to take that step. And I was thinking, how would people be feeling who actually own their own distillery right now, who've got overheads and rent, and the bottoms just dropped out. It was, so that for me was, there was nothing else for us to do in our heads.
Yeah. Love it. That would have both brought a lot of encouragement and a lot of light to what was a very, at times, dark period of our recent history.
We enjoyed it a lot. But it was terrifying as a burgeoning industry and business,
Yeah, crazy. So how did you, you hung on, right? You hung on, you survived. How did you do that?
Well, the state government gave us wages.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that was, I know there was a lot of people don't like the state government, but...
yeah, because they don't have any money anymore.
Yeah, they've spent it all.
That's right.
So that was enormously helpful. I don't think we could have continued. Well, I know we couldn't have continued, but that gave us a little bit of breathing space to think and to build in diversity into the business. And I started thinking about how we never ever get in this situation again. So if the bottom drawer falls out of our gin, what else? So that was ticking along in the back of my mind. But we knew that people were at home. They were like us. People were like us. We like to drink. And we like good drink. And people weren't spending outside of the home. So we knew there would be we hadn't quite understood it, but there was a vibe. Like we had a vibe.
Yeah.
That's what the young people say today. So we built our website and made it really functional, and so people could purchase off the website.
Nice.
And a really beautiful thing. So there was a lot of bad stuff that happened in COVID, but there was amazing stuff too.
Yeah.
People in Queensland were buying their friends in Geelong birthday presents that they wanted hand-delivered. So we would write cards for people, the message from their friend, and we would go and knock on the door, and this is your gift from your friend.
Oh, wow.
And by the way, here's a handwritten note, and
Wow.
So that was, and then I've still got friends from knocking on random people's doors, and you just end up having a chat because we were all like,
that's
really
amazing.
To talk to someone, and I'm actually an essential worker, so we can have a chat about the gin. So I still have friendships from that time where we just met through gin.
That's amazing.
It was cool because you were like the milkman, but better. You're delivering gin to a doorstep. Like, people loved you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You would have been the favourite person to see, maybe the only person to see that day.
Yeah, exactly. And it was absolutely lovely to be able to do that.
And so in diversification, what did you do? Like, what did you create? What else did you do?
We built the distillery, and again, it was during COVID, and there's no way we could have built it without the support of the Hamiltons. They gave us all of their trades. So we had an extraordinary plumber. We had an extraordinary electrician who had hazardous area experience. So Red's Electrics.
Wow.
Red used to work. So Red was the owner. He's since handed the business over to Sean, but he worked at Shell, so he knew about dealing with volatile, flammable liquids.
Wow.
And so that is so hard to find, right? Because we're babies, and babes in the wood do not know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And actually guided us in what to do. So, like, we had an extraordinary tradespeople come through our business because of the generosity of the Hamiltons, and they were still building, and they were in crisis themselves.
Yeah.
Because it was a crisis for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an amazing time. Yeah, and yeah, we're really grateful.
It's sounding like, and from my experience, it's totally true that you banded together.
Yeah.
With the people around you, right? The external crisis, kind of created a bit of reciprocity in how do we help you, how can you help us to just survive?
Yeah.
But actually, there's something beautiful about the need that and the push that COVID had on that outcome.
Yeah.
Was that collaborative kind of spirit of like how we actually need to help each other survive. But do you feel like that has continued at all, or?
I think the beauty of COVID, and I know you're not supposed to say nice things about it, but it made everyone slow down.
Yeah.
And we missed each other.
Mm.
And I think we've all gotten busy again, and I still think we miss each other.
Yeah.
So it has our collaborations our relationships are still there, but Cam doesn't come over for a cheeky Negroni at midday anymore because he's busy doing his stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that was it was a little bubble of time that was really tough, but it had some interesting benefits. Yeah.
Some cool things happened. How did you make sure, you mentioned earlier that I thought it was really interesting that you going around your mind was the thought of how do we never get in this situation again? If the gin falls off the planet, what do we do? How did you answer that question?
Well, we did it initially within the business, the gin business. So we had multiple streams of income. So website.
Yep.
We had wholesale. We developed out our audience on social media when social media was functioning back then.
Yeah, when it worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a really engaged mailing list. So the mailing list was really strong.
Yeah.
And we knew that bars were maybe not going to recover for a while.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, we'll still try in that area. But we did find that coming out of COVID, it was nigh on impossible. So that excitement in the bars was gone because they were actually trying to survive.
Yeah.
And they had a massive loss of expertise.
Yeah.
Because everyone who was senior, like really great bartenders and venue managers and general managers went and got jobs.
Had to find work elsewhere.
Yep. And found that, this is really good hours for my family, and I don't have to lift things and carry things and deal with people who've maybe had a little too much to drink and are a bit obnoxious. So but then 2 years later, some of them have come back because you actually really miss the lovely parts of hospitality, which is 90% of it.
90%.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, nice.
So that was that. So
yep, diversified sales channels.
Just take all my sales channels and try and find new audiences. Take the gin out to markets, to farmers markets. That was another thing that we did. And then build our relationships back up in Dan Murphy's and all of those places. the other thing we started to do was contract and brand work because we've been around for ages. We've done it. We know how to make a gin. We know how to make a vodka. We knew how to make lots of things. And because I've got a scientific background and I worked in fermentation, albeit at 250 mils rather than 600 litres.
Yeah.
I was working with badly behaved microorganisms. Yeast is very well behaved when you want to do fermentation. So I was more than capable of doing fermentation trials.
Wow.
So the brand Active Treason at Top Shelf, we did all the research and development into making Australian agave, so tequila.
Wow.
So that was all myself and Joey Ty.
Yeah.
And Seb himself was working with Top Shelf at the time. So he actually left the business for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And worked at Top Shelf. So he was responsible for Grain Shaker. He helped scale and build the Campbellfield distillery and brewery for Ned Whiskey. Helped with tastings, barrel picking. So you'd go through, taste all the barrels, and then choose which barrels would be used in different products.
Oh, wow.
And then we did all the R&D at Anther for the flavours profile of the agave, and then they built, and he was involved in building the distillery in Queensland for the Active Treason. So we've accumulated as a business enormous amounts of knowledge.
Wow.
And so that started to become evident to us because people were asking us questions that we easily knew the answers to, and we're like, hang on, we know stuff. That's valuable.
Yeah.
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 So we started bringing, like, brands would come and work with us, and we developed their actually, it was weird. The first one that we did was an English brand, and they wanted to come and make the gin here, and I'm like, that's crazy. The excise here is outrageous. It blew my mind. Anyway, they didn't ever end up coming.
Huh.
I was able to, from the flavour of their gin and a recipe, I only got a list of the ingredients. I was able to replicate the flavour. So I made their gin in Australia on my little mini still. And I'm like, I am able to do this. I can do this. So that started to show us that we actually had a skill set that was able to be monetised. And so now, just through varying sort of meanderings of how, just curiosity and getting interested in scale of brands and scale of, we have to scale our own recipes. We can scale your recipe, And then Seb started getting really interested in safety because he's a massive nerd. And so he's running safety classes and has run them all through Australia.
Yeah.
And then that rolls on to people will come and engage you for helping them understand how to build a distillery, because it's a highly regulated area. You're working with dangerous goods, and there's regulations that you need to adhere to.
Yeah.
And if WorkSafe can come in and you're not doing something right, they can shut your site down. They're much better now. They're much more understanding than I think they were like 20 years ago. People are terrified of WorkSafe, but I've actually had them on site, and they're still terrifying, don't get me wrong. But they were much more lenient than I thought they would be.
Yeah,
so
not there to shut you down.
No, that's right. So that's one of the risks to your business, is that you're not adhering to the correct regulations. And the regulations are opaque. You try to read them and you instantly fall asleep. I think you have to be a lawyer, But he's got a brain that's actually able to read that.
Wow.
Like, oh, God.
That's a clever brain. I've got the one that sounds like you've got. This is,
Yeah. So we help people develop recipes. We help them troubleshoot the recipes that they have. So if there's a problem with it, we'll be able to pull that through.
Wow.
We can take something that, like, if it's got fermentation in it, I can do it. So with the Active Treason recipe development, I did not look at any tequila production. I didn't want to know about it because I was worried that I would lose if Australia will have its own terroir, it'll have its own regional flavour, and I was worried if I took on any of the Mexican formats or protocols that I would make a Mexican product. So I just didn't
look at it.
I just made it, and I abuse tequila. as a younger woman. And so I made a tequila that I wanted to drink. So it's a really gentle, soft, beautiful, citrus-driven spirit.
Wow.
So, so I stayed away from this. What was it? The sip suck shot. I don't remember. There was.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was
The suicide shot.
Yeah. Lip sip suck, I think it was called.
Yeah.
So that's what we used to, when you're young, you do silly things. But yeah, so I didn't want that one. That was the one I didn't want. So I made as far away from that as possible. So we made a really beautiful spirit. And that was months and months of trial and error and playing around with lots of different elements, like different yeasts and different piña, and understanding how to cook the piña to get the sugar right. And yeah, that was extraordinary.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went through that we were basically contracted by Top Shelf to do all that work.
Wow.
And because Seb was working with Top Shelf, he was able to really control. He knew he could have control over it if he needed it, but we just workshopped it all together and changed stuff on the fly, and if they needed it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that was our first big contract, and then they moved on to their own production, and then you sort of get addicted to new brands. So we've got another brand that we're working with at the moment called Beauty Agave. So beauty, it says BEUDI. So it's like beauty, Australian, hey, beauty, mate.
Beauty.
Yeah, so it's those guys, and they're making really great. So they came to us with a recipe, and we scale the recipe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're making their agave for them, and
Love it.
And so it's a totally different recipe. Like we couldn't use the same as what we did with Top Shelf because that's all theirs. So what they've got, what Beauty have got, is a completely different type and style of agave. So yeah, that's been, and these are they're just coming into their business, and they're doing extraordinarily well. Like they cannot keep up with some of the orders. That's how well they're doing in market at the moment.
Wow.
Very smart guys. Yeah,
Love
very,
that.
Very smart.
Love that. So you've diversified in a really clever way, in that you've taken your expertise, your knowledge, and your capability, and are deploying that to other businesses and brands. And so that's gold.
Yeah.
Love that. So you're not even making products for yourself. That's not your product. Your product is your IP and your skill set and your ability to help someone. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
And so where are we at now with Anther?
Well, it's interesting because we've got our beautiful gins, and my favourite gin to drink a martini with is still my Australian dry. Actually, that's my favourite Negroni drink. The favourite one I have is my Goddess Strength Gin, which is a 58%
Holy.
gin. That's my favourite martini gin, but I can only have half because it's...
Knock your socks off.
It's too super easy to drink, so I'm sip gone. Like, I'm so glad I had half. We still are making our gin. We're still selling our gin, but we're not pushing it as much as we used to, because to sell a bottle, to sell in a bottle to a bar now costs money.
Whoa, serious?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They don't want to see you anymore. So people are hurting. The margins they need. So people are attending bars. They're going out less. They're spending less. So the spend per head is less, and the foot traffic, so the people through your door, is less.
Yeah.
So that means that the margin that you need to make on a drink is much higher. And when you're taking a luxury item like ours, your margin's much lower. So we're definitely seeing that. We've seen that across the whole industry. So we've seen a much lower uptake and it never recovered after COVID. When COVID stopped, we never saw that uptake again.
Wow.
And it really was about the fact that bars they poured through their interesting spirits that they had on the back bar, and then the large liquor companies will come in with great deals, very, very good first pour offers. So that means that's the ones that are in the speed rail, the vodka, gin, and everything that's in the speed rail. We would never be in a speed rail because we're too expensive, and that's where we sit. But that for them is just surviving at the moment, is I think where they're all at.
Yeah.
And we really respect and understand that.
Yeah.
Hard times.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now, we're actually weirdly farmers markets, so fun. It's like being back in the golden days, the rose petal and red carpet days.
No way.
Yeah, they're coming to a market to spend.
Wow.
And they're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Yeah.
they want to know about you and your gin and all of that. So that's really fun. So we do those, we engage there. We will engage with bars that want to engage with us, and we won't be going in and pushing and selling.
Yep.
And then Dan Murphy's is rationalising its gin at the moment. So a lot of our industry is getting moved out of Dan Murphy's because there's so many gins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dan Murphy's
Flooded.
themselves are actually apparently down as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That's complete rumour. I don't have any inside knowledge of that, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
They've just started to remove small brands from the shelves, and then some of the wholesalers are taking small brands out and putting them on a marketplace platform. So everyone's rationalising at the moment. So, yeah.
Wow. And is that affecting you?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yep.
we're seeing all of that happening too.
Wow.
We're seeing some pain across the industry at the moment. But on that note, we're probably busier than we've ever been as far as the other parts of our businesses.
Wow.
So we're at the cusp of needing to employ, but we're like, we'll just work a little bit harder, and then if it keeps going for 6 months, if we don't burn out.
Yeah. It's a little bit like that, isn't it? You're just like, how hard can I push it until I can fall over the finish line of a new employee and have them, fairly well close to capacity when they start.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's we're lucky to be in this position we are in. Yeah, really lucky.
What does the business look like now from a headcount perspective and from a footprint perspective?
So we've still got a gorgeous distillery in Geelong. After COVID, so when we reopened, we had 10 staff. We got up to 10 staff. We have 2 now.
Wow.
Because I saw what was coming.
Yeah.
And we just had to let some people go. And some people left. We just didn't replace them.
Yep.
We reduced. So people used to come to our distillery 5 days a week. We were closed Monday. Yeah, so 5 days a week we would be open, and we would have customers 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Now we have customers maybe 1. So we only open on the week. We only open on the weekends.
Wow.
So we've taken the business that has shrunk and actually shrunk the costs around it. So we've just put a ring around that, and we're like, someday people will come back and they'll have money again, and they'll feel confident about being adventurous with their drinking again. Yeah. And when that happens, we'll be ready to open those doors up. We have a beautiful cellar door. We have a gorgeous garden area. We do lovely events, and we do cute little boutique weddings at Anther, and 50th birthdays and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So, but we're almost banking the brand at the moment.
Wow.
Just keeping it alive and moving, and letting it out where it's able to flourish, but just keeping it back from places that we don't want to put pressure on bars that can't afford us, but really would. We've got these extraordinarily talented bartenders coming up again now. We had a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
And now these gorgeous bartenders. Geelong and the regions around us have got phenomenal talent. We just had the Golden Plate cocktail competition at Anther. We host it.
Oh, wow.
And sponsor that every year. And I saw the talent, and it was extraordinary. So we're getting this renewal in the industry. So I think in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll start seeing that the boutique and bespoke made things are going to be used again in bars.
Nice.
But I feel like it's going to be a little while before that happens.
Yeah.
So we'll be ready when they're ready.
I love that. And in the meantime, until that happens, what's the target? What's the mission?
Well, we're just going to keep seeing where people need us. So one day distilleries will not be being built and scaled anymore. So we don't know what the next step is after that. We didn't know we'd end up helping people build their distilleries and advising them on which boiler to use. Like, I know how boilers work now. I know way too much about boilers. I never thought I would know that. I went into you go into distilling with this romantic notion of it, like the Jack Daniels commercials. Do you remember them where you're sitting around, there's a clock ticking in the background and you're just sipping whiskey and playing cards?
Yes.
I think that's how everyone imagines it. It's not that.
Working in a distillery looks like that. Yeah, you're just waiting for the distillery to distill.
It does its thing over there. Yeah, it's not that. It's lots of, like, if you look at my hands, like, I've got workers' hands. Like, these hands work.
Yeah.
But I'm also very physically fit, which is great.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the next, but we actually are having those, Seb and I are having those conversations now, because we're in the upward movement of this now. We can feel that this is building. We're getting a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And brands, and I don't know what because that's everything goes. It goes in, it builds, and then it comes back down the other side. So I think once we hit the peak of that, we'll start being able to see what the next steps are and what our next steps will be. But I think it's a good few years off yet.
Wow.
But we're actually having those conversations now. What's the next thing that's going to be needed?
Yeah.
Can we fill that up?
I love how you approach business like that. It's being able to project where the opportunity is going to be is super powerful, and to be not the one riding the coattails of the downward trend, right? Well,
I don't know. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how we do it. It's not. We're not hatching plans in a dark room at the back. Like I feel like we're hospitality people. So hospitality people, your job is to find a way to help people. You need a martini. I have a lovely one here for you. Or you need to know, I'm nervous about my wedding. Yeah. I will assure you that we will make your wedding beautiful and calm.
Yeah, wow.
You know, that's where we come from, and that's probably what has sort of informed our business throughout. And it has meant also that we've lost money, which was partly naivety as well there. So that was a lesson that it took us, we're a bit dumb like that. It took us a while to learn that lesson because we were leading with our hearts. Yeah. But I think what we've done, we're a bit smarter about all of that now, but I think what we look for is the need. What will people need? How can we make them more comfortable in their business? Yeah. That's where we come from. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's, when we're looking at it from that perspective, it's not just a hard-nosed strategizing thing. It's like, how do we make your life better? And it's from that hospitality background and basis.
That's like a real hospitality superpower that you're employing right there. I love how you've kind of reduced that kind of concept down. I love hospitality, and the core of it, as you've so wonderfully described, is helping people. It's how do we be the most helpful? How do we help people feel at home? That's just amazing. Well done. I round all these episodes out with, and I'm conscious I want to have just a little bit of a look at these things here in a second, but we round these out with top tips for business. I want you to dig into your history and your story, like your point about hospitality. Yeah. Tell me, what have you held on to? What have you implemented in your business from a philosophy or an idea perspective that you could say this is what has helped us be as successful as we have been?
I'm really learning from your mistakes and actually learning about who you are as a person. And it's quite ironic because I was listening to a radio program on the way here, and they were talking about understanding yourself. So there's a woman at Harvard, and it's about learning about yourself so you can be an effective leader. Yeah. What are the things that make you angry? What are the things that make you happy and joyful? Yeah. And understanding that is really important because how do you, like, one of the questions you ask is, when you're angry, are you the first person to know about that, or is the person you're talking to the first person to know about it?
Oh, yeah, great question.
And like that, I'm like, so that's made me rethink. So I was really focused on being a good boss when I started, but I was all heart, and that's not good for anyone. It's not good for me. It's not good for my staff. So then I moved into all head. No, also not good, not good either.
Tell me, how are both of those not good in their own respects?
So you don't have good boundaries when you're all heart. Friendships bleed, and then when you have to have hard conversations, people cry and they get really upset and feel betrayed. So that's the heart leadership with no structure, I suppose. And I think my main management, like as a business owner, was in COVID, so we did need heart. We needed heart there. But then as we came out of COVID, that started to come undone. And then moving to more of a hard-nosed sort of cut and dry, like manager or boss, it's you leave no room for the people. So when things are hard in their lives, you just keep pushing through, and then that's not good either, because people need a little bit of heart. But I think there was a little bit of burnout involved in that at that time as well for me. So I couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah.
And now I think I'm getting a better balance. I think I know myself a little bit better. I know Seb and I know our strengths. So Seb's terrible at admin. So we've employed an admin assistant.
Nice.
And he's so much happier.
Yeah.
So I know my husband and my business partner, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And he was really, really resisted it. And now he thinks it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to him. And I also think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Good.
So little things like that. So that helps his workflow. And it helps my workflow. When a staff comes to work and they're not, wearing the correct clothes, or we have to have that difficult conversation, but it's done in a, hey, this is how we do things at work. You missed this. You got these things right.
Yeah.
And, it's not the end of the world. I don't get upset or angry. I stay calm.
Yeah.
I always tried to stay calm, but when I was in my more head role, I was showing a little bit more of that sternness. And I frighten people when I'm stern, because I'm generally so happy. So if I get stern, people are like,
what's happening?
So I have to be really, and I find that hard to temper. So so now I just remain calm and speak factually. And when I was in my hard phase, I was, look, I know you're going through a really bad time, and I'm really sorry to bring this up, but could you wear clothes to work, please? Something like that. So like, I'm having a bad time. I don't like clothes anymore. So can you just please help me out here? And I'm like, well, just wear some clothes then. So that's where I'd be in the hard time. Whereas in the head time, I'm like, get back home and change immediately.
Now.
This is not okay. Nobody's happy here.
So it's knowing yourself is as a basis, and how you operate best is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And also knowing where those strengths that you have lie, in Seb's case, not admin.
Yeah.
And hiring to kind of enable that work to be done the
100%.
best way possible, even if it's not you that doing the work.
Yeah. And I always believed naively, and I don't know if this is a controversial thing to say anymore, it used to be, that you could learn anything, right? You can learn anything if you work hard. But some brain types are better at some things than others.
Yeah.
So, I'm fantastic. You give me any problem, I'll find a solution.
Yeah.
It could be very expensive, but I'll find that solution. And I'll pick away at it until I get it solved. And I'm really good at if there's a dispute.
Yep.
I'm really great at just chatting to people and finding a way through that dispute.
Nice.
So that's, if there's any of those issues in our business, I will do that.
Yeah.
Seb's really good at dealing with people who are, what's a word that I could use that's a palatable word?
Use the unpalatable
It's
one. Challenge?
Prescriptive.
Oh, yeah.
Really prescriptive and
Okay.
think they know more than you do.
Oh,
about what
yeah,
you're doing.
right,
He's
yeah.
great. I am not great with those people. So he deals with those people.
Great.
But I've had people who come in and they're bartenders and they're bloody amazing at bartending.
Yeah.
You put them in a sales role, they fall 2 pieces.
Wow.
Because sales is structured.
Yep.
Whereas bartending is like moment to moment. You're in there and you're doing your thing and you get the next drink and you get the next order and they're personable. They know how to make people feel great.
Yeah.
Sales is, you have to be a bit hard-hearted in sales. So a great bartender may not make a great salesperson.
Yep.
And that is brain type.
Yeah.
And heart, how you are in your heart as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fitting the right people to the right roles.
That took a while
Yeah.
to work that out. Because people are like, I want to be a distiller. It's like, yeah, but you'll blow yourself up.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, because you just don't pay attention. Because you're a really good bartender.
You'll blow yourself up. Oh, not good. And anything else while we're on the topic of wisdom dropping, gold nuggets, anything else that you could say, if I didn't operate like that or if I didn't think that way, then we wouldn't be where we are?
I think there's an extraordinary amount of luck involved. I know people never want to say that. But there's people who deserve to be in business today who aren't. And it was because maybe where they built the distillery or maybe they didn't have the right people in the business at the time. And some of those things are luck. And when you're successful, people say, I did this all myself because I'm so amazing and I strategized really well. We made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to have the space to learn from those mistakes. And we were lucky enough that at the right time, there was the right people in the right place. But we've had a few near misses I've spoken about them today. But who knew that the landlord of our building would have every single trade? Like, that's luck.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had friends in our industry who spent months looking for an electrician.
Wow.
Yeah, or they wouldn't find a plumber wouldn't do it. They just couldn't find the trades.
Wow.
So, and we literally had them handed to us on a platter.
Amazing.
At the most critical time. So I think that if people are in business, they're starting business, yes, strategy is important. You do need your 5-year plan. You need to be thinking about your finances and all of those things. And they're things that I've had to learn along the way. And they were hard learned. They weren't easy for me to learn. But a lot of it is also to do with luck as well.
I really respect that because there's it honestly is a lot of things are well out of your control, and you can easily look at something that went right and say, look how right that went. That was all me. But more often than not, it was circumstantial, you know, and great things happened and you're able to capitalize on it, but you didn't make those great things happen sometimes. And so being able to recognize that, it shows a level of humility, which I really respect. I want to round out this episode, though. I've got things that I can touch and feel here. This one in particular is really interesting to me. For anyone listening, it is what do you call this type of packaging?
We call them pouches, but...
it's a pouch, yeah.
That's what yogurt comes in.
Yeah, yes. It's a little yogurt pouch that's got gin in it. I love that. So how did you come up with this?
Well, we didn't.
You didn't?
We stole the idea. I think it was Whiskey and Ailment were doing tastings in Melbourne, and they were sending out their gin in that.
Perfect.
And we're like, because we were sending out our tastings in little bottles. And
yeah.
Some of them were breaking.
Oh, of course.
And weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we started using them just for trials.
Yeah.
And then everyone loves them.
Yeah.
You can take them to festivals. Yes. You can take them, they fit in your pocket.
Oh,
so you can
perfect.
just pop them in a pocket.
Yeah.
And if you're having a bit of a rough day,
pop a gin in your pocket.
Handmade gin, pocket gin, you know.
I actually love that. How do they go? How do sales go on your yogurt pouch gins?
Really well. But what happens is people see them, come over, fall in love with them, and then we'll buy a bottle. A 700ml bottle.
Perfect.
And then they're like, I'm going to get this for my stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
So, or you've got a $10 KK. They or we've got the 100 mils. People use those all for little stocking stuffers at Christmas and small gifts.
Perfect. I love the innovation that's represented in this. It's like a miniature goon bag, but
I know.
with gin in it.
So good.
Really nice, high quality gin in a bag.
So what people, I'm obviously not endorsing this because there could be some food hygiene issues, but
Yes.
So what people do is they ask us how we fill these, and we tell them, and then they will go and get a syringe and take the gin and refill this and bring it with them. So they'll buy a bottle and refill it.
Oh,
so
wow.
people take them hiking and caravanning,
Yeah.
and they put them in their suitcases to take to family and friends overseas because they're light.
Wow.
And it's a little moment of Geelong or Australia that they can bring back to family and friends.
Oh, that's gold.
Yeah, I brought 50 of them to Ireland when I went there, and I've got so many cousins. I didn't have enough. I had 50 and I still didn't have enough.
I love that. And this one is, how much is in here?
That's 100 mils.
This is the 100 ml
Yeah.
bottle. And so this is the one you're talking about, the perfect little stocking stuffer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
No, I love it.
They're
And
really
that's Geelong Dry I've got here.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive into it. It's Friday at the time of recording this, so later on.
All right.
And we didn't get to talk about these collaborations, which is a really important, a really amazing thing that you've been able to do. I want to land this plane of an episode out with collaborations. Tell me about these two that we see here. One is the fluorescence, and the other one, what's the other one called?
Well, it's got two names.
Oh, okay.
There's a name on the label, but you can pronounce it in two different ways.
Okay, let me have a go. It's Ms. Gina.
Yeah, that's what we tell Dan Murphy's that it's called.
And what's the other pronunciation?
Miss Gina.
Of course, because tell me about the collaboration.
So this one is the collaboration with the Australian Gynecological Cancer Foundation. So we raise awareness of the 8 gynecological cancers that occur in women.
Wow.
And we actually have this on our tasting panel at the distillery. So hundreds and thousands of people have come through and learned about cancer at a gin tasting.
Oh,
but
wow.
We've got these, so it's quite serious. So cancer is very serious.
Yeah, yeah.
We tell everyone there's eight cancers. Not all of them are easily detectable. Often when they're found, that people will be already well on the way in their cancer journey, and it can be fatal, particularly with ovarian cancer. I didn't know there was 8. I maybe thought 3.
No.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
And I'm a biologist, so I should have. I feel like I should have known, right?
Yeah,
and I possess the equipment in which these cancers can occur. So
Yes.
I was really, and I'm quite aware of my body and my health, so I was shocked. So it became very important for me to be part of this. But we get through that bit of information, and then we get people to look at the label, and the label, it looks like a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
But it's actually a stylized vulva.
Wow.
And what the girls at the AGCF wanted, so we were working with the marketing crew, they wanted to call the gin Vagina. And in the V, they wanted 2 legs akimbo with red stilettos on them.
Wow.
So that was the V. So they wanted it to be out and proud. This is about genitalia. This is happening.
Yeah.
But then we went and spoke to Dan Murphy's, and they were like,
and Uncle Dan was like, "That's not going on my shelf."
But and understandably, they've got their people to look at. So we then altered what we were doing, but this brings more laughter and joy at our gin tastings than any of our other gins. People absolutely love it and just start laughing.
Wow.
And it's just so beautiful. That this gin and this part of our anatomy, this miraculous part, our reproductive system is miraculous.
Yeah, it is.
How, I have made a child. How did I construct a human being? I didn't know hands. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, it is
really
extraordinary. Yeah.
So people find a lot of joy in talking about it, which I find it. But then the other element is it's quite a taboo subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so breast cancer
Yeah.
was taboo. Talking about breast cancer was taboo 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So what the aim of this product and the foundation's aim is to make gynecological cancers as the understanding of them as prevalent,
Yep.
and the support and funding for them as prevalent. So each bottle, we raise awareness and we donate $5 to the Gynecological Cancer Foundation.
Wow.
As well. So we hold twice yearly events where we raise money for them as well. So they're only small events.
Yeah.
But that's been a beautiful collaboration. We love that one. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. What a great story.
Yeah.
How long has that been going for, that
I think
collaboration?
it's 3 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Not as epic a story as that one. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Tell me about fluorescence and the collaboration there.
So the Royal Botanic Gardens in Melbourne were having their 175th anniversary, and they wanted to celebrate with a gin.
Nice.
And Tim and Whistle had wanted to make a gin because Kew Gardens in London have a gin. So I also would like a gin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a beautiful gin made by Dodds. So he came. Well, we had to tender for it. And we way over delivered on the tender because we were so excited about doing it. So what we've done with this one, we had a hilarious journey with this one too, because we asked the botanists to find us beautiful things, send us lovely things.
Yeah.
And so they went through the gardens and they were smelling things like, that's quite nice. And like, what flavours are? And like, well, look, maybe some floral notes and some, citrus and anything sort of interesting that you find.
Yeah.
So they sent us a whole heap of stuff, and I was like, okay, these are really interesting. And we were like putting together a recipe. And I'm like, plants, some of the most poisonous things in the world, they're in plants. Just double check.
Whoa. That could have been, without the double checking, that could have been quite treacherous.
Well, they are botanists, so they didn't give me any like daily nightshade or anything, so they knew.
Okay, good.
But I just rang them. I just sort of said, look, we're doing distillation. Distillation concentrates things. So if there's any of these plants that are in any ways irritating, we need to make sure that they're not in the thing. Yeah. So they went again through the list and they found a few that were mild irritants. So would cause, I don't know, just a little bit of maybe skin
swelling of the throat or something.
And death. But I know as a scientist what it's like. You're like, I'm giving you this job, and they're like fully immersed, going through, getting to do this amazing thing. And just that, knowing that I know which are the poisonous plants. I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to get these ones that smell amazing, but you can't know. There's thousands of species in the gardens. They can't know intimately every species and its toxicity. So that was really a moment where we all had a laugh. So that was cool. I really enjoyed that bit. So we got to work with those guys. Then we did a little small recipe. We got it approved by them, and then I went to collect all the. Well, we had some from Cranbourne Gardens and some from Melbourne Gardens, but I went up to with Mr. Walsh. He was my guide, I suppose. He was the CEO of the gardens at the time.
Nice.
He was so lovely. He took me through the seed emporium, the herbarium, and out the back where they were propagating at risk plants, so the plants that were endangered in various stages. And I saw a table of, I think it was 40 of the same orchid that they'd only found one of in like a really rare orchid, and it's like there was 40 of them just sitting on the table. And the woman who propagates orchids is some sort of orchid magician. She's actually a really great scientist. But she worked out that there's a symbiosis between fungus and Australian orchids, and if you don't have the fungus, the orchid won't survive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so cool things like that. So I'm learning all this amazing stuff. Then he brings me to the top level of the herbarium, and they've got these commemorative shovels. Did you know there was such a thing as a commemorative shovel?
I did not.
Me neither. So, of course, it's the Queen, and there's a Prince Philip one, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Whoa.
They had a commemorative shovel for Haile Selassie, who was the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And, like, this guy is, like, he was almost a spiritual leader.
Oh, wow.
Like, he's this sort of, he's an extraordinary guy.
Whoa.
And I'm like, Haile Selassie, like, what is going, I didn't know he planted something in there. So, so there's all these commemorative shovels. They've got books from the 1500s.
Oh, man.
Like these on vellum, like this, or it might be parchment, but it was these beautifully coloured, illuminated things, like this book. It was, I can't remember the name. It's a famous botanist. And then they've got hundreds, thousands of pages of unfiled and undocumented botanical surveys. So they've gone out and they've taken the plant, they've pressed the plant, they've done drawings of it. And at the time they were compiling all of those. So they're taking incredibly detailed photographs with this huge camera of these pages so that they could, if a botanist wanted to, it would be as though they were looking at the plant, so they could zoom in and see. Because a plant may be differentiated in species by the number of branches or the which side they come off, or stuff like that. So they're able to zoom down and see all these things.
Wow.
And then there was just the other thing I learned about our herbarium and our gardens was, because Australia's never had any wars, we've got records that are no longer present anywhere else in the world, because in Europe all the botanic gardens got bombed in wars, and or stuff was lost in fires. So we've got a really good record in Australia.
Really?
So this
I
really
didn't know
cool
that either.
stuff, and that all speaks to their sustainability, and that's something we forget about with the gardens. The gardens are a place of relaxing, picnics, going seeing plays, going for a romantic walk when you're that age, doing that sort of stuff. So we forget that they're actually doing incredible work with sustainability and biodiversity, and then there's all that history there.
Wow.
I was absolutely fascinated. I was
Wow.
like, somebody needs to do a show on this. It's so interesting.
Yeah. And so that, out of that collaboration, this is the gin that was produced. What is in here?
So it's called fluorescence, which is the act of flowering. So that's what the Latin term for it is.
Uh-huh.
And we wanted to have a flower on the front. And I love Australian native botanicals, because I'm going to tell you two things about this. The floral note comes from a leaf, and the leaf is called Violet kunzea. So it's a tree, and the leaves, when you crush them, smell like flowers.
Oh, wow.
It's stunning.
Wow.
Right?
That's cool.
The flower we have in there is the waratah, which has no smell. It's got a green smell.
Yes, but no distinct fragrance.
No floral note.
Wow.
So I took the waratah, and I was just going to take the nectar from it, because it's shed tons of nectar in waratah. They've got all these little cups all around the flower. There's about 50 of them, and they all have nectar in them.
Oh, wow.
And if you turn them upside down, the nectar drips out.
Whoa.
So I was going to use that. And then I thought the nectar would have some flavour, but it was just like sugar water. It was a little bit sort of like a garden smell, but it wasn't anything that would have added. So I'm like, I wonder what the flower is like. So I cut the flower in half, and cucumber hit my face. It was just so massive, the amount of cucumber that came out of it.
Wow.
So I put a little bit in the distillation, and when it's freshly distilled, all you can smell is cucumber. So it actually smells like the distillation's ruined.
That would have been a fun moment.
But then it integrates back into the gin,
Wow.
and it's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
We also they sent me this exquisite citrus plant called Zaire, and that was the one I was going to use to hero the gin.
Yeah.
And I said, I need a kilo of this dry, so lots and lots. And they said, actually, we can't send you that. This is an endangered plant.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Okay, well.
That's great.
Don't give it to me in the first place.
We do have this beautiful botanical in Australia, the lemon scented gum.
Yeah.
Which I used instead.
Wow.
Which is extraordinary. It's really beautiful. And I've got lemon myrtle in there to give a bit more sherbety notes to it.
Wow.
But, I use a single leaf of the Zaire in every bottle, so we can talk about the beautiful work that the gardens do as far as making sure that we're not losing these plants.
Wow.
Actually keeping them.
Wow. So it still made its way in there.
It got there, but yeah, I've still got the original plant that we first took from and have dried it, and we keep that. We just put a little dried leaf in there in every distillation, and they're literally the size of a pinhead. They're so tiny.
Wow, that's a sustainable use of that, that plant. Wow, epic work. Derv, thank you so much for all of the cool things that you've told me about, and I have learned so much here. One thing I wanted to just leave everybody with is you've managed to create and have some amazing collaborations here, and we've talked a little bit about that, but haven't focused very much on it in this episode. What are some of the top your keys to a successful collaboration?
Work with good people. So that's really important. Be flexible, listen to them, and then let them tell you what they want.
Yeah.
And it might not be what you can deliver, but let them tell you, because that's what they need to say, because they have expectations of the collaboration. Manage their expectations of the collaboration, because some people's expectations are crazy. Obviously, these two collaborations, that was not the case, because we were working with very professional organisations.
Yeah.
And also, not every collaboration. But some collaborations you'll have to remind people of your value.
Yeah.
So, some people start to take for granted your expertise and what you're bringing to the table, and start to run ahead, and they don't value what you're bringing to the table. So that needs to be part of the core part of the collaboration, that you respect what they're bringing and their organisation, and you're excited by it, and that they're excited by and respect your organisation. And if that reciprocity is not there, you're going to run into trouble with collaborations.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't work with some people. Some does. But
that's wisdom right there.
You just have a beautiful, fun time when you're both on the same. You're both respecting one another and really enjoying one another's ideas and companies. So
and you have outcomes like this with these two, which are just magnificent. Thank you so much, Derv. Let's talk people and how they can get in touch. So there's a few different types of people that could probably would like to get in touch with you. Do you want to run? Let's go for the simple one. If you've been like watching this episode and thinking, man, I just want to drink some gin already, how can people get, whether it's my favorite little yogurt pouch here or a full bottle of gin, how can they get their hands on some Anther?
Well, you could come to the distillery on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
We're at markets. There's a Geelong City Market, which has just started in central Geelong, which is all produce, and we're there every week until Christmas and probably beyond. We're going to see it. The market is going to see how it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
And that's in Little Mallup Street. It's just amazing. It's really amazing because it's really old school. You're like running into people you haven't seen in ages. And lots of hugs and kisses.
Oh.
And it's just amazing. Like,
that sounds like a vibe.
It's so cool.
Nice.
And then we've got our website, which is www.anther.com.au. And we're on social media as Anther Distillery. So if you just Google Anther Distillery, you'll find us.
Great.
And if you do want to get in contact with any consulting gigs, or we're not like we will talk to you through stuff, or we're not going to say, right, you're not allowed to speak to us unless you pay us our money, but we will actually sit with you and actually spend time with you to understand what your actual needs are.
Yeah, wow.
And guide you to what we think you might need, and then let you make the decision of whether you want to work with us or how you want to work with us. But we will give a fair bit of information to you. If we don't think you need us, we're not going to engage you. We'll just tell you what we think you need and point you in the right direction and send you on your way.
Love it.
So that's, you just go onto our website and go through our hello at Anther email address, and we'll get back to you. We can start from there.
Love it. Super cool. I hope you've enjoyed sitting down and having a chat with me, and I'm going to enjoy some gin at some point, maybe this evening.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. It's been lovely.
Done. Well, that is where this episode comes to a finish. Thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed yet and you love this episode, then please do so that you can get all of the most recent releases delivered right to you. And I just wanted to say a really big thank you. If you're a long-term listener, thank you for supporting regional business, and thanks for being interested in the stories behind these remarkable businesses.